Our third secret rendezvous reveals mutual lust and a shocking truth. At our third secret rendezvous, mutual lust was overshadowed by a shocking truth, unveiling a web of lies and desires that threatened to unravel everything I thought I knew about love. Chapter 3. Our third secret rendezvous reveals mutual lust and a shocking truth. There's something about forbidden fruit, isn't there? The way it tempts you, whispers promises of sweetness in your ear. That's what James had become to me. My forbidden fruit, tantalizing and out of reach, yet so achingly desirable. The days leading up to our third rendezvous were a blur of anticipation and anxiety. I was like a schoolgirl with a crush, heart fluttering at the mere thought of him. But alongside that excitement, there was a gnawing sense of dread. I was playing with fire, and somewhere deep down, I knew I was bound to get burned. I remember getting ready that day. Michael had left for work, his kiss on my cheek brief and perfunctory. As I looked at myself in the mirror, I couldn't help but wonder who I was doing this for. Was it for James? For myself? Or perhaps for the woman I wished I could be? The coffee shop was our spot, a haven where we could pretend, even if just for a few hours, that we belonged to each other. When I walked in, I saw him there, sitting at our usual table, a vision of the man who haunted my dreams. James stood up as I approached, his smile sending ripples of excitement through me. We ordered our coffees, and as we settled into our seats, the connection between us was palpable, an electric charge in the air. Our conversation started with the usual pleasantries, but there was an undercurrent of something more, a tension that neither of us could ignore. We talked about our lives, our hopes, our regrets. With every word, it felt like we were peeling back layers, getting closer to something raw and real. Then James leaned in, his eyes locking with mine, and said something that took my breath away. "Ellie, I can't stop thinking about you. It's like you've cast a spell on me." His voice was a low whisper, a secret just for the two of us. My heart raced at his confession. It was madness, this connection we had, but it felt so right, so incredibly intense. We were two souls, lost and found in each other, and for a moment I allowed myself to get lost in the fantasy of it all. But then, as we continued to talk, James revealed something that shattered the illusion. He started to open up about his life, his past, and that's when he dropped the bombshell. He was married too. Not just married, but trapped in a loveless, unhappy marriage. I felt like the floor had been pulled out from under me. Here I was, judging myself for betraying Michael, and all along James was doing the same to his wife. It was a revelation that made me see him, and myself, in a new light. The irony wasn't lost on me. Two married people, seeking solace in each other's arms, escaping the realities of their own imperfect lives. It was a twisted kind of symmetry, one that left me feeling both vindicated and more guilty than ever. As we parted that day, the air between us was different. There was still desire, yes, but now it was tinged with the bitter taste of reality. We were no longer just two strangers sharing a connection. We were accomplices in betrayal. I walked home, my mind a whirlwind of emotions. The excitement I had felt earlier was now replaced by a deep, unsettling conflict. I was drawn to James, more now than ever, but the knowledge of his marriage made it all feel so sordid, so wrong. And then there was Michael, my husband, who had no idea about the turmoil I was going through. As I stepped into our home, the familiarity of it all felt like a chokehold. I was living a lie, and it was starting to suffocate me. That night, as I lay in bed next to Michael, I couldn't help but wonder about the woman who lay next to James. What was she like? Did she have any idea about her husband's infidelity? The thought made me sick to my stomach. The following days were a haze. I went through the motions, smiling and nodding when needed. But inside, I was a mess. The thrill of the affair had been replaced by a deep sense of remorse and confusion, and just when I thought things couldn't get more complicated, I received another message from James. "I need to see you again. I have something important to tell you." My heart sank. What more was there to reveal? What other secrets lay in wait? I knew I should put an end to this madness, but part of me needed to know, needed to see him one last time. So, there I was, caught in the web of my own desires and deceptions, my dull marriage brought into sharp focus as I dreamt of another man, a man who was just as lost and broken as I was.